Hi, I'm Dan Kuperstein, and welcome to this episode of Compliance Minute. On July 1st, 2016, the EEOC released guidance clarifying how final rules on wellness plan incentives under the ADA and GINA apply to a group health plan with multiple coverage options. To give some background on this guidance, final regulations under the ADA and GINA, released in May of 2016, and which become effective for plan years beginning on or after January 1 of 2017, generally prohibit an employer from offering an incentive that exceeds 30% of the total cost of self-only coverage under the employer's health plan. By contrast, under the existing HIPAA ACA wellness rules, the incentive limit is generally capped at 30% of the applicable tier of coverage. What that means is that it's the tier of coverage that applies to that particular employee. So for example, if employees and spouses are permitted to participate in a wellness plan, then the incentive cannot exceed 30% of the employee plus spouse tier of coverage for the applicable health plan. The incentive cap is not limited to the employee-only tier of coverage. In the recently released guidance, the EEOC responds to a question that asks, what incentive limit applies if an employer has a single group health plan with multiple benefit options where wellness program participation is limited to those with coverage under the plan, but where it doesn't matter which benefit option employees choose? The answer to that question is that regardless of whether an employer offers its coverage options in multiple plans or as multiple options within a single health plan, either way, when wellness plan participation does not require enrollment in a particular health plan or plan option, the maximum incentive is determined by the lowest cost health plan option, even if that is not the health plan option in which the employee is actually enrolled. So in their view, in the EEOC's view, this promotes consistency within the wellness program by making the incentive limit exactly the same for all employees. Interestingly, the EEOC acknowledges that this approach differs from the HIPAA ACA rule, but asserts that the end result balances a desire for consistency between the statutes with the need to ensure that incentives are, quote, not so high as to become coercive. The key takeaway here for employers is that these new incentive rules are really a game changer for employer wellness plans, particularly if incentives were very high because they were based on 30% of a family tier of coverage. It's very important that employers now look at all of their health plans together when determining the lowest cost of self-only coverage, and it's not enough to simply follow the old rules under the HIPAA and the ACA and assume that everything is going to be okay. For more information on this and other topics, please visit our Knowledge Center at corpsyn.com. Thank you.